Hi. It's floor plan time. We are back at it again. Today's plan is for a project that I think is so cool. It's a house here in Denmark, built in the mid 20th century, sort of a classic Danish modernist design language. And let's just say it has heaps and heaps of potential. The house belongs to a young family that is planning a pretty serious gut renovation, and they're hoping to preserve the architectural integrity and design language of the home while bringing it to its full potential. So just a brief overview so that we're all oriented with the existing plan. We have the entrance here with a guest bathroom and either a bedroom or office, both accessed off of this foyer. Then we move into a very large dining room in the center of the home, which is connected to a similarly large family room, as well as the kitchen, and it opens up to this central covered courtyard with a pool. Moving beyond the kitchen, we have a laundry service area with another front entrance to the front yard, and also an entrance from the garage here. And there's actually a separate carport beyond this garage here. Then down the hallway, we have two small bedrooms with a shared bathroom, and then this sort of oddly segmented sort of suite with a bathroom and two equally sized rooms, neither of which is really big enough to be a comfortable bedroom. So that's a little bit unique. I feel like this is one of those layouts that I come across pretty often that was clearly built or renovated for a specific family's needs and lifestyle, but it didn't really consider the functional longevity of its space plan. So we are hoping to achieve more appropriately sized rooms. The kitchen and bedrooms are all really quite small. Also optimizing flow and function, and potentially, most importantly, a better indoor-outdoor connection. Because again, while this was built in a pretty classic Danish modernist language, the house in its current state is sort of missing the mark on some important design principles. Most notably, the insane potential of this central courtyard here, which is currently sort of being snubbed by the interior of the home. There's a lot of solid wall here between the inside and outside, which I think is sort of a shame for both the courtyard and the interior spaces. And the clients are really excited about removing this glass roof that currently covers the pool and in general just reimagining the courtyard, which by the way gets very nice southern light. This house and courtyard are oriented to the south. The clients came to me ready with a couple ideas that they definitely wanted to implement. The first was reducing to just a single carport and reclaiming the area of the garage as livable interior space. They also wanted to slide that carport forward toward the street to allow for more light into the bedrooms on this side of the house. And one very crucial thing that they definitely wanted to remove was this sort of double front door effect. Because there's currently no hierarchy at all between this laundry room access and the front door, which makes the house read almost like two separate units when you approach it from the street. And often they have guests coming up to the wrong door and knocking on their laundry room door. And a reminder, this is a pretty significant gut renovation. They're even getting a new roof, which presents some fun design opportunities, I think. Other than shifting that carport forward, we are keeping the same footprint of the home, but we have complete freedom to play with exterior openings, interior walls, the whole 9 yards. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? So first, zooming out at a sort of conceptual level, I really want this courtyard to define the entire house, including the interior layout. I think it would be wonderful if this grid continued in through the interior living space. So right off the bat, I want these to be the new boundaries of the kitchen, with a nice new laundry room where our garage was previously, leading out to the carport there. That also allows us to have just one single back entrance that is no longer at the front of the house. So now anybody and everybody will clearly understand where the front door is and how to approach the home. Shifting that wall over also allows us to have our dining table centered on this big opening out to the courtyard. And it's pretty obvious that the dining room is way too large and our kitchen is still way too narrow. So these can be much better proportioned, like so. Now, this kitchen dining courtyard relationship is the main reason I chose to share this plan, because I think it's really cool and satisfying, I have to say. Basically, this family wants to be able to close off the kitchen occasionally for sounds and smells. And also, given that this dining room and dining table are so large, they would like a more cozy sort of breakfast table in the kitchen for more casual meals or just to hang out at while somebody is cooking. So we clearly identified the relationship between these two rooms, kitchen and dining, as a very cool opportunity for an interesting design element. I'll show some of the reference photos that we looked at for this partition. Basically, the idea is staying true to that Danish modernist language, maybe incorporating some transom windows, pocket doors. Lucky for me, these clients have a shared love for pocket doors. Also incorporating some thoughtful storage. Basically, this break between the rooms has a ton of potential in my eyes. I especially love the idea of having symmetrical openings aligned with that courtyard. And then on the kitchen side of this partition, we can have a lovely built-in bench for that eat-in kitchen. Then we can go ahead and embed our fridge and tall storage along this wall. And then this long counter can have two large windows aligned with those pocket doors and the corners of the courtyard. So fun. Flanking a beautiful stove and hood for a very smooth and functional kitchen design. I just love the idea of those pocket doors. And I feel like I should warn you all now that we are not holding back with the pocket doors in this design. There's more to come, including right here between the kitchen and laundry. Okay, before we carry on, I want to tell you about the software that I used to create all the plans you're looking at. These were made in Rayon, which is an online multiplayer design tool built for interior designers. It brings drafting, presentations, schedules, mood boards, and collaboration into one simple workspace without the heaviness of traditional CAD. First thing I really like about Rayon is its templates. Instead of starting with a blank canvas, Rayon gives you ready-made interior design documents. That's plans, elevations, mood boards, and presentation layouts. You can just open one up, adapt it to your project, and move much quicker. And editing in Rayon is so clean and familiar. You can select elements directly on plan, move furniture, adjust annotations, manage layers, and keep everything editable. It feels like proper CAD, but it's so much lighter and faster. I mean, it can even work in a web browser. And Rayon also supports schedules directly in your drawing. You can structure project data, create tables, and keep information connected to the design. That means fewer separate spreadsheets, which we all know can get so messy, and really just a clearer workflow for specifications and project documentation. And finally, Rayon lets you turn your work into proper presentation pages. Plans, title blocks, notes, and layouts can all live in the same file. So you can go from design work to client-ready document without all of these endless exports. To try Rayon for free, go to rayon.design or just click the link down in my description here. It's online, it's multiplayer, and it's built to make interior design documentation so much faster and easier. I really recommend checking it out. Okay, now let's get back to our design. Next up, let's tackle this foyer area here. First, let me say that on their wish list was actually an ensuite bathroom for each bedroom, which we'll get to later. But that means that this bathroom here will not only just serve this room, which will be a study and occasional guest room, but also the rest of the house. So especially in a cold, muddy country like Denmark, I usually try to avoid crossing through a foyer or entry vestibule or whatever to get to any livable space. That allows for a nicer sort of transitional moment between outside and inside, public and private, wet and dry. It can be a space dedicated to storing shoes and coats. Maybe it has a different flooring material. So I proposed relocating the entrance to this bathroom off of a small hallway here, where we can also have a door leading to the study/guest room. And this bathroom is already pretty large, so it can easily accommodate a shower for the guest room. And what's really cool about this room, mainly being like a study, library, place to work from home, or for the kids to do their homework, it means that most of the time when the family doesn't have visitors, this can be open to the living space, to the dining room here. We can have some nice big interior French doors here that will let in some nice Western sunset light into the heart of the home, which I think is really nice. And then moving on to the living room, we are breaking down some walls here between interior and exterior, okay? The beauty of a courtyard is its ability to bring natural light and nature into the center of a building. And I think it's important that we just let this courtyard do that. This is, however, currently where their TV is, so it will need to be relocated to this wall here. They told me that they really want this room to serve two purposes, not only to be a TV-oriented room, but also to be a place to gather and spend time together as a family. So we came up with this furniture layout, which usually works pretty nicely in a relatively square family room like this. Just about all the seats here can comfortably see the TV if needed, but the TV isn't totally dominating as the only function in the space. It will feel just as nice to sit on the sofa here, looking out at the beautiful courtyard. And speaking of the courtyard, I could not have been more aligned with the vision that they were planning for this area. So the pool is currently 6 by 3 meters, and they felt that they would be just as happy with a 3 by 3 meter plunge pool, which allows much more space in the courtyard for a nice seating area, but more importantly, landscaping that includes large plants and trees, which I just love. I think it's important in a courtyard space to not shy away from large plants that are actually planted in the ground. Far too often I see these sort of courtyard patios that are just poured concrete with some potted plants. And it just really takes away that sort of magic of nature and greenery coming in to the heart of the home, you know? I'm just so obsessed with a good courtyard. My dream home absolutely has a courtyard like this. Oh, and also there's currently like a roughly 2 meter high fence around the courtyard, which honestly is just pretty silly because they have a pretty sizable private backyard just beyond it. So we're getting rid of that and opening up the courtyard to tons of exciting landscape design potential. And then with that same line of thinking, connecting the courtyard to the interior of the home, I would love for us to mirror these doors on the other side of the courtyard into the hallway. I think people really underestimate how cool a hallway can be when it has large windows or doors running along it. It really makes for a space that feels open and pleasant to be in, not just like a narrow alley. Okay, so moving into the bedroom quarters, we still have some leftover space from the garage to play with. I really just want to give these bedrooms a little bit more space to breathe. They're so tight right now, and we can give them each en-suites with windows to the side yard there, which is very green and private. Also, we can sneak in direct access from this hallway to the laundry room, so we don't have to schlep our laundry baskets through the dining room and kitchen to do laundry. And then at the end of the hall here, we can rework this space to be a relatively modest but definitely comfortable primary suite. This is the first layout that I recommended, which would be oriented to the courtyard as well. You guys understand that I'm obsessed with that courtyard, but it could definitely be made private with some thoughtful landscaping outside and window treatments when needed. But the clients weren't so sure how that would feel for them. They wanted the bedroom to feel a bit more private and more oriented toward the back garden rather than the courtyard. So I came up with this other layout, which connects both the bathroom and the bedroom out to that back garden, which I think is really nice. I also think double pocket doors to the bathroom like this, centered opposite the bed, is a little unconventional, but I think it could be a pretty cool feature if done right. I'm kind of actually really into it. Right, I think those are all of the edits that we worked through. What do we think? Do we also love pocket doors, or are we horrified by the number of pocket doors here? I think a modernist house like this is uniquely suited to accommodate so many pocket doors. There's something very cool to me about the whole house functioning with these sort of flexible partitions between each room. So here is the before plan. Sort of less than ideal spatial proportions in a lot of the rooms, especially the bedrooms and kitchen that are really quite small, and a huge dining room. And most offensively, we have that odd double front entrance situation and just a huge wasted opportunity with this courtyard footprint. And then here is the redesign where we addressed all those issues and then some. And I also want to show you guys how customizable drafting can be in Rayon. So here's a more detailed visualization of that same plan. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and time for my shameless plug. All of these plans that I share are pulled from my design consultations. I offer remote design consultations for clients all over the world. So if you are building a home or working through a renovation and you'd like to talk through your space plan with me, or material choices, lighting, anything like that, you can book a 1-hour session with me where we talk through your design. So if you might be interested in that, feel free to email me for more details at noah@noahdaniel.studio.com. And yeah, that's all for now. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.